So, the last class, what did we do? We did the introduction. So today we'll go for invocation. And then we'll also try and do mantra 1. If possible, we'll cover as many as we can. I'm not coming with any set agenda right now. But I want to finish the book at a relatively faster pace. Depends on how much discussion we have. Okay. Rajabha Prabhu is not here, so hopefully less questions. Where is he?
Going to travel.
Travel? Correct. You told me. Okay. Invocation. So it's a very famous mantra. Let's all chant together. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamaya. Okay. So this is definitely a key memory verse for your exam. So I'm telling you right now. This one, mantra 1 is a key memory verse. Ishavashya Nidam Sarvam. Mantra 2, Purva Neveha Karmani Jijay Vishatam Samaha. That is also key memory verse for your exam. Next one, Surya Namate Loka Amihena Tamasagata. That's also a key memory verse. That's it. You can see a relief on this. See, he was expectantly looking like a cricket match when the bowler hits a six. Okay.
Only 4 mantras.
Huh?
Only 4 mantras.
You want more?
Asking. You have given 4 mantras, Prabhuji? Only 4.
Thankfully, Bhagavad Prabhu is not here. You would have cut down 2 here and there. Alright, so invocation. Okay, now the children have to be absolutely quiet. If you believe that they need more attention, you can take them out and come back after some time. But don't let them, don't continue with them making noise and then don't do anything. There is Damu Prabhu is not here. Preeti Mataji, I saw her outside. Damu, she was sitting. Why is she not here? Okay, translation. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. So you will thoroughly enjoy key memory verse translation in your exam. That I can assure you. So let me see how all of you by heart this, reproduce this. This translation will contain more marks than any other translations that you have done for you to get complete marks. Okay. Purport. Who wants to today?
The complete whole or the The complete whole or the supreme absolute truth is the complete personality of Godhead. Realization of impersonal Brahman or Paramatma, the super soul, is incomplete realization of the absolute complete. The supreme personality of Godhead is Satchitananda Vigraha. Realization of impersonal Brahman is realization of his Sat feature or his aspect of eternity. And the Paramatma realization is realization of his Sat and Chit features, his aspect of eternity and knowledge. But realization of the personality of Godhead is realization of the transcendental features.
Of all the
transcendental.
So what is very important?
Satchit Ananda bliss. When one realizes the Supreme Person, he realizes these aspects of absolute truth in their completeness. Vigraha means form. Thus the complete whole is not formless. If he were formless or if he were less than his creation in any other way, he could not be complete. The complete whole must contain everything both within and beyond experience. Otherwise he cannot be complete.
Okay. So what are the points here? I was just asking where you are. Why Preeti Mata is sitting outside always? Huh? Otherwise she will be the most outstanding student. Tell her to come. Where is she? She's come already. points?
Yes, but God
Okay, settle down quickly. Okay.
Three stages of realization. The first one, the impersonal Brahman, which is the Sat picture, and then the Sat and Chit, which is the Paramatma realization, and the Bhagavan realization is basically Sat, Chit, Anand, complete all three.
And there is one more word after. Vigraha. Why the word Vigraha is emphasized? Because the Lord has what? He is a person. So the complete description of the Lord is what? Sat Chit Ananda Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Nadi Raja Govinda. So the word Satchidananda Vigraha is there. The children have to be kept slightly quiet. If you believe that the children need more attention, then the parents have to take the children out of the class till they are addressed and bring them back into the class. Okay. Anything else?
Happiness or Ananda manifests only with the personal form. The personal form is important.
No point? Okay, let me put it this way. You are in a preaching program. You are sitting in the Vyasasana. This paragraph your members have just read and they are all looking at you now. Now, respond.
The Supreme, complete whole of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is complete, and anything which emanates from Him does not make Him incomplete. Like, we always remain the complete.
We'll come to that aspect. It is good that you are elaborating the translation, but what about the first paragraph? It will come. Your explanation is very valuable. So keep it for the second paragraph.
God cannot be less than His creation. In terms of who is person, some people argue about there is not a person and all that. From logical point of view, it says that to think God may not have a form, but He cannot be less than. He can only be more than what He can perceive. He cannot be less than what He can.
Okay. So you are going to look like that when your members have finished the paragraph. What are you going to say? In the Friday class, this paragraph has been read. What are you going to explain? Think. Whenever you read a paragraph, always think like that. Start thinking in that mode. Okay? Then only you will be able to explain it to others. Your members, Bhaktivedanta members have read this paragraph. Now, you have to explain to them. They are all looking at your face.
Lord Krishna is absolute truth, and absolute truth is a person. And Brahman realization and Paramatma realization is part of his feature.
Yes, okay. Expand on that now, based on what you studied in the Bhagavad Gita.
But it is not the complete Brahman and Paramatma feature are not the complete, they are incomplete.
Okay.
Everything which
is unlimited. So we are Prabhupada beyond our experience. When we say the law is complete, so it looks like a bit more of theoretical aspect, but we need to understand from the practical point of view, it is unlimited. So that aspect needs to be understood. That's why it's called whole. So I remember one lecture Prabhupada gave in the Melbourne upstairs in this room, that while explaining to someone, a university student, Prabhupada said, Lord is complete. He quoted this verse, God is whole. Then he did not understand. Prabhupada gave an example that if you go to an ocean,
Children, keep the children quiet. If you believe that the children need attention, then you can take the children outside the class, and when you believe that they are quiet, then you can come back into the class. Yeah.
So you give an example to the university student that if you go to an ocean and then take ample number of water,
Yes.
so ocean remains same, and then you put back whole.
That is same point what Prabhu was also saying. That will come in the second paragraph. But in the first paragraph, what is the expand on the first paragraph that you just read?
One realizes the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then all the other realizations will automatically come.
Very good.
One need not specifically target those
Very good. Okay.
and all those things
Okay.
separately.
Yes.
Just by achieving this, everything will come. And then we can also refer to the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which will further expand on this.
Tell me which is the verse. Say. That's how you have to start expanding. Okay. Now apply all those principles. Then somebody is arguing with you. See, Brahman, everything is light. Okay? Everything is light. From that light, when that light comes in contact with the three modes of material nature, then it produces forms which are material in nature. So Brahman, because we cannot understand Brahman, therefore Brahman is so kind that it mixes with the modes of material nature and comes in a material form, which you call as Rama, which you can call as Krishna, which you can call as Durga, Yatho Matta Vekiya. All are it. So you are also that Tattvamasi. Right? You, Rama, Krishna, everything is one. So, but when you do Pancha Upasana of all these deities, the form simply helps you attain the formless. Somebody with a big beard explains this to you. How are you going to use this paragraph to counter that explanation? And tell him that you are Mayavadi. Okay, in Prabhupada's language, of course, we don't call like that, but still. Okay. How are you going to push back this?
But this we are trying to maybe say that matter is superior to material energy.
No, I never said matter is superior. I said spirit, which is Brahman, mixes with matter and comes as in a material form. So that Brahman sometimes comes as Krishna, which is a material form, or sometimes it comes as Rama. And we are all like, have come like that only. We are all Brahman. We are all mixed with the material modes of material nature. Only thing is that Rama and Krishna, they are Sampurna Brahman. So they are not as contaminated as you and I are. That's why they seem to be, very high personalities there. They are great, manifestations of Brahman, Para-Brahman. This is the argument they are giving you. Okay. Now, what are you going to say?
The first one in Bhagavad I am Brahmasmi. So that Krishna is saying, I am Brahman. So Brahman comes.
That is what they are also saying, no?
I am the source.
That is what I wanted. Where is that written? Very good. That's what I wanted for so long. Okay? Brahmano hi pratishtha. I am the source of Brahman. Brahman is not my source. And that is the biggest point you can defeat.
And Hiranyamayana Patrena, you keep telling that verse.
That's another point. Yes, that is going to come here also. In Isopanisad. Okay? Prabhupada is quoting it also. Hiranyamayana Patrena. So, oh Lord, remove that veil so that I can see you. Which means behind that there is someone. Not that from there is someone. Behind that Brahman there is someone. So Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. So the light is coming from the effulgence of the personality of Godhead. Therefore the complete understanding of the absolute truth is not light but that personality who is the source of that light. And then you can further quote Srimad Bhagavatam also corroborates this by saying Padanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavadi. So you have to, so by heart these key verses, even though I know the Bhakti Vaibhava course has not started, but that's one of the key memory verses for your next course. But it's good to be handy, okay? We don't want to wait till we finish 10 cantos to start preaching, because God knows how long Bhakti Vaibhava will take, right? So start studying Bhagavatam verses also along with, not that Bhakti Shastri is out of syllabus. If we do studies like that, our children will also do studies like that. Many times you say, this problem, it is out of syllabus. They say, what? Yeah, all concepts are given in the book. No, but teacher stopped there only. Problem number 5A. So 5B you will not study. I know you people didn't study like that. Okay. So bring Bhagavatam wherever Bhagavatam is very powerful in establishing the personality. The whole of Bhagavatam establishes the personality of Godhead. That's why the Mayavadis don't have access to Srimad Bhagavatam. Because they cannot dispute Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why they don't access Srimad Bhagavatam. Whereas this is the favorite book of these Mayavadis, they will always operate on these kind of books, which talk at a metaphysical plane, which is very susceptible to, or not susceptible, I will say, which is very vulnerable to interpretation. They will interpret it whichever way they want. Like that. Because this is a metaphysical explanation can be interpreted in many ways. But Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be interpreted. It clearly says, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it's very clear. The first line itself establishes the personality of Bhagavan. So, from Bhagavan, Brahman comes, right? And then the localized aspect of Bhagavan is Paramatma. Paramatma is inside every living entity, every atom, even within every non-living entity, Paramatma is there. And in the heart of the living entity, the Paramatma has two functions, Upadrushta and Anumanta, right? The witness and the sanctioner, okay? And inside every atomic particle, it is because of the presence of the Paramatma, what happens? The electrons move around the nucleus. That is a power, that is a spiritual power. It comes. So no scientist has been able to give an explanation for that. They all say, fine, centrifugal force or whatever you can talk. But where is that coming from? They can say gravitational force. But where is this? What is the source of gravitational force? Like that.
So non-living entities, I mean, they don't have Jivatma, but Paramatma is there in everywhere.
Every single particle, there is an aspect of Bhagavan, localized aspect of Bhagavan. They perform different functions. There is a localized aspect of the Lord in even every single. That is why the Lord is called as omnipresent. If He were only present inside the living beings, how can He be called as omnipresent? Right? He is everywhere. Everywhere is in every single atomic particle. So children have to be kept a little bit quiet. If you believe that they make noise, then please take them out. After they finish, you can bring them back. Why are you laughing? Okay. I'm going to keep on saying that. And then after that, we will give bouquets and flowers. Okay. Anything else? So we have to understand that what is the Mayavadi's understanding? Who can explain the Mayavadi's understanding and interpretation?
That the form has come from the light.
That the form has come from the formless. Okay. So we have to understand that the formless word has its meaning only because there is a word called formless. Right?
Form, there is a word called
there is a word called form. The homeless exists only because some people have home. If nobody had home, nobody will be homeless. Right? So the word formless also derives its existence from form. That's one argument. Second argument, you can say, you can ask the person, do you have form? Yes. Yes. Do I have form? Yes. Does the dogs and animals have form? Yes. That means you are saying that Bhagavan does not have something which these people have. But they may say, no, Bhagavan also has a material form. They may argue like that. But where did we say Bhagavan is formless? We will say Bhagavan has a form, but that form is only a temporary manifestation of Brahman, which is a contaminated form. And the relative level of contamination of that form is very low, because that is why we call one form as Para-Brahman. It's almost pure form, but because it's contaminated a little bit with mode of material nature, so Krishna, they'll talk like that. So then you have to go back to the Bhagavad Gita, saying that Brahmano hi I am the source of Brahman. So even before Brahman, Krishna existed.
So Mayavadis don't aspire to be happy. Ananda is not there.
Mayavadis only, they want Anand, but they want Anand of Brahman only.
Okay.
They don't want Anand which comes from Ras.
So, but where is Anand in Brahman?
Okay. In Brahman, they think that there is Anand. Okay. In Brahman, there is peace of mind. Okay. Which they mistake for happiness. Sometimes peace of mind is mistaken for happiness. Okay. For example, if you go on a Monday morning and you say, "How's it going, mate?" Hey, good. Stayed out of trouble. You know, that's what they'll say. Staying out of trouble is biggest happiness in life. Okay, it's like that. Okay. Or somebody asks, "How is it?" अभी तक तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हाथ पैर चल रहा है. So is that highest happiness? हाथ चल रहा है, पैर चल रहा है, very very happy. Is that the highest happiness? Because our concept of happiness is only that much. So when you see from the point of view of the misery of the material world, then that misery, it stops in Brahman. Okay, because in Brahman there is no lamentation or hankering. Much of our misery is because of what? Sochati and Kamchati. So, what is the verse? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na Sochati na Kamchati. So there is no, when one attains to the platform of Brahman, then there is no hankering or lamentation. So in that, from that reference point, they are talking. Everything is first class. No problem. You can't see birth, disease, old age and death. You are in the light. So you have attained the eternality feature, if you like. Okay?
So what about the concept of Vaikuntha and the other? I mean, they don't agree to any of those. So the scriptures clearly state that. They say that there is no Vaikuntha, there is no...
Yeah. So because they don't understand Vaikuntha, because they don't have access to Srimad Bhagavatam. They don't have access to that. Okay, they are only trying to understand the Brahman feature of the Lord. Their whole prayojana, okay, their goal is only to escape the misery of this material world. That's all. Whereas, what is the devotee's goal? Tathenu kampam sushimikchama gunjan eva atmakritam vipakam. Oh my Lord, or vipada shantu tah shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru. What is the third line? Bhavato darshanam yatsya apunar bhavadarshanam. Let those calamities come again and again. Whereas Brahmavadi says, I don't want those calamities. Brahman mein aram se baithenge. It's like that. Does it make sense? Okay. So for a devotee, Swarga, Apavarga, Narakeshu, Apitulela Darshan. It doesn't matter whether in heavenly planets or hellish planets or... And devotees don't aspire for Brahman. Moksha Laguta Krit. Anyway, that liberation is waiting at the doorsteps. There are 6 characteristics of pure bhakti. It is anyway waiting at the doorstep of a devotee. Okay, so they don't aspire for it. But for a Brahmavadi, that is the all in all. Aspire for the divine light, to merge into the divine light. Because you are out of the, at least temporarily out of the cycle of birth disease. When I said temporarily, it's not 1 or 2 days. It's a very long time. That's why it almost sounds like eternality. It's a very long time. One day in Brahman is many, thousands of years here, right? So if you come back from Brahman, then you would see your, great to the raised to the power of n grandsons, right? When you come back, go for a moment in Brahman and come back, because that's a time reference point is like that. Okay? So unveil that curtain and come out and show. That's exactly what it is. Thank you very much. This is a live example of. It is not a contaminated form of Brahman. Okay. So, what was the point? Huh? So the Brahmavadis don't have access to Srimad Bhagavatam. They don't have the knowledge of Rasa Tattva. So they don't have an incentive to break through the layer of Brahman and see the personality of who is the source of Brahman. They don't have that incentive. So Prabhupada says that what happens? They are very happy, peaceful in Brahman. But Brahman mein what do you do? The nature of the soul is to act. So they feel bored about it. When they feel bored, they need activity. When they need activity, what do?
They come
They
back.
look inside. They are finding out, okay, who do I do activity? To do activity, you need a person. Right? You need a personality. So they try to find out, is there a personality with whom I can? So then they go inward and see. Dhyana yoga. What happens? Paramatma comes in front of them and then tells them, boss, I am here. Right? But then what happens? What does the Paramatma say? I am in my form, but you cannot access me like this, in this form. So you will have to go to a guru, serve, practice Bhakti Yoga, and then you can establish a relationship with me and come to me. Okay? So from Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga. Okay? So you see outside Jnana Yoga, you see inside your mind Dhyana Yoga. You realize Paramatma. And then you want a relationship, that is Rasa. Rasa will come only in Bhakti. If you do Vaikuntha Bhakti, Dasya Rasa. If you do Golok Bhakti, you can get access to the higher Rasas. Right?
These Mayavadis do recognize Bhagavad Gita, but they interpret it in a wrong way.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you are going to give argument to them that Krishna has said this, they have already interpreted it in a wrong way anyway.
Yeah, so give prasadam to them, don't give argument to them. Okay. So one day, Mayavadi came to Srila, Prabhupada was in New York or somewhere. Prabhupada was lecturing. One Mayavadi came with pamphlets. So and so, dash, 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 Nanda. They have all these names, no? This Nanda, that Nanda, their Guru. So somebody, he came pamphlet and he started distributing to everyone in the class. So everyone said, hey, Mayavadi booklet and all that. What to do? Prabhupada said, no, it will be very useful. And everyone was thinking, what is Prabhupada talking? Prabhupada said, don't throw it, we'll use it. And then what Prabhupada did, after that I think they had made pakodas or something. They were used to pack prasadam and then give it. All the notice of the invitation. Mayavadi invitations. Okay. So it has got its use. Prabhupada used that also. In service of Krishna, those pamphlets. Okay. But otherwise it's a bogus philosophy. Mayavadi. Brahmavad is a genuine philosophy. No doubt about that. Brahmavadis do not say that form is a contaminated form of the formless. Brahmavadis do not say that. It is Mayavadis who say that. Brahmavadis are those people who are content in Brahman. That's all, full stop. They are not denying the existence of God. They don't want the existence. Form doesn't excite them. Does it make sense? But Mayavadi, Prabhupada calls as rascals because they say that the form is contaminated form. Form is something which is a manifestation of Brahman when it comes in contact with the three modes of materialism. That is bogus. So this, if you are clear, that's good. From Bhakti Shastri point of view. Okay, let's go ahead. So Mataji, yours is
all facilities are given to small.
The complete whole.
The complete whole, the personality of Godhead, has immense potencies, all of which are as complete as He is. Thus, this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. The 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation are arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance and sustenance of this universe. No other unit in this universe need make an extraneous effort to try to maintain the universe. The universe functions on its own time scale, which is fixed by the energy of the complete whole. And when that schedule is completed, this temporary manifestation will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete whole. All facilities are given to the small complete units, namely the living beings, to enable them to realize the complete whole. All forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. The human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of the living being, and it is obtained after evolving through 84,100,000 species of life in the cycle of birth and death. If in this human life of full consciousness the living entity does not realize his completeness in relation to the complete whole, he loses the chance to realize his completeness, and it is again put into the evolutionary cycle by the law of material nature.
Jai Jagannath Prabhu, what is the point here? Yeah, we Sogama Ukandrige. No points. Mataji.
Quick contradictory.
अब अभी ट्रेन शुरू होने को इंडिया है क्या?
Bit contradictory.
Warming up चालू. Back to schedule.
The paragraph is a little bit contradictory. It says that anything that emanates out of the complete personality is also complete, does not require any external maintenance. But then we have the, not concept, the reality of demigods who maintain, how do
Which line are you talking about?
No, in the paragraph.
Tell me the line.
Okay. So, thus this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. It says that. And then the material universe is a temporary manifestation and arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. No other unit in the universe need to make any extraneous effort to try to maintain this universe. But again, everywhere we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, everywhere the demigods are doing their duty in terms of taking care of the material affairs of the universe.
So who has made the arrangement of the universe?
Okay. But then again, no other unit. How do we understand that?
No other unit means it's not like that. It's not like for example, supply chain management में we have what is it called as stock transfer order. एक जगह में stock नहीं है तो the transaction is triggered from some other place. So that there is a transfer order which comes STO.
Okay.
So it's not that यूनिवर्स में थोड़ा problem है, जरा पानी लेके आना, दूसरा बाजू में है ना उधर से. It is not like that. Does it make sense? When humans have to make some airplanes and say go to the nearby universe and bring water. So everything is there which is self-sustaining.
From an elements perspective, from an elements perspective it is there.
What is it?
So here in this
What are the elements? What are the 24 elements? What are the 24 elements?
We read somewhere.
Read somewhere.
The 5 primary elements.
Certificate is coming 6 months. What are the 5 gross? 5 gross. What are the? Last 10 years we have been discussing 24. Earth, water, fire, air, either 5.
Mind.
3 more or what?
Mind.
Everyone knows that 8. क्या आगे तो बोलो? My senses are what? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and then the sense of FDO pilot on that. More.
80% enough.
Sense object.
So and then consciousness. So and then the working senses. Okay. Now knowledge acquiring senses and the working senses. All that will become 20. 18 plus 5 is what? 23. And then
Plus soul.
Plus soul. Yeah. Okay. So the 24 elements. All this is already there. So everything is a mixture of all these things. So it's in that sense, whatever is required for the functioning of the material world, every universe is self-sufficient. That is what it is said. Nobody needs to come outside and intervene. That's all it's saying. Okay, what else? Any other point?
That this full consciousness has been granted for a specific purpose. And if someone does not use this full consciousness to realize the reason for getting that full consciousness, then it will be taken away and be given accordingly, depending on what level of consciousness we are using.
So Prabhupada writes, all forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. So therefore form is a function of y is equal to fx. You write. What is the y? Form. Form is a function of what? knowledge. That's what Prabhupada is writing. Right? Form is a function of knowledge. So jitna knowledge utna hi form samajh mein aayega. To the extent of your knowledge, you will be able to understand form. Correct? Okay?
And incompleteness is because of avidya.
Yes, incompleteness is because of avidya in various proportions, in various degrees. Avidya can be in various degrees. Avidya can be, that's why Prabhupada is saying that all forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge. So avidya is the highest in which species? The trees, aquatics. Virtually there is nothing going on except, thinking, that day I went to that, what is that, Gold Coast. I was thinking, it's a hellish planet, no? Just imagine you are put inside that, what is that, fish tank, and you are also going like this. Like that, and your whole life you are spending like that, doing that. I was thinking, bore nahi hota hai there. There is nothing to do over there. No, that's a really low species. No? You can see, we enjoy all that, color, vagara. No? Oh, what nice fish, what color. But is the fish enjoying its own colorful body? No, it's nothing. It's got virtually no consciousness, nothing. It's just going like this, that's all. It's only, fish tank ke andar it is trying to find new meanings in life. And we have a larger fish tank, that's all. One corner of the fish tank is office, another corner is our social life, right? We have a big fish tank. That is the only difference. So, the conscious is not evolved. So the understanding of completeness is only to the extent of the knowledge that person has. So when you come to now, directly from evolving, it comes to a platform where we can distinguish between two types of people. One who know that they are there, who are not the body, and others who believe they are the body. So in terms of knowledge, who is higher? One who knows that they are the spirit soul. But then the Brahmavadis and Mayavadis also know that they are the spirit soul. But their knowledge again restricted that. They do not know that beyond that soul there is a super soul, and beyond that super soul is from whom even super soul. So therefore, all forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. Okay. Okay, let's read further. Jagan Prabhu.
Because we do not know that there is a complete arrangement in nature for our maintenance, we make efforts to utilize the resources of nature to create a so-called complete life of sense enjoyment. Because the living entity cannot enjoy the life of the senses without being dovetailed with the complete whole, the misleading life of sense enjoyment is illusion. The hand of a body is a complete unit only as long as it is attached to the complete body. When the hand is severed from the body, it may appear like a hand, but it actually has none of the potencies of the hand. Similarly, living beings are part and parcel of the complete whole, and if they are severed from the complete whole, the illusionary representation of the completeness cannot fully satisfy them. The completeness of human life can be realized only when one engages in the service of complete whole. All services in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary, will remain incomplete until they are dovetailed with a complete whole. When everything is dovetailed with the complete whole, the attached parts and parcels also become complete in themselves.
Very nicely Prabhupada explained. What an example. Simple example. The example of the hand. Okay, what are the points here? Huh? Chant how many rounds? 24 on Ekadashi. Chant 24 rounds in how many days? Okay. Any points here?
The Prabhupada said, that the load is complete. And then he said that the material world is also complete for the purpose it has been created. We don't need anything external. Then he said that the human beings have also been given complete facility to realize the complete load. And then he said, when we don't use that facility to realize the complete load, then we enjoy sense gratification. It is like an illusory completeness. And then he's contrasting at the end the devotional service with the real completeness, which connects us with the completeness.
Yeah, very nice to put. Yes.
A lot of time when we feel void in the life, that's because of this reason that we are not connecting with the complete, and we try to be complete in ourselves. And until we connect there, that completeness we can't realize. Doesn't matter what we do. So that void is because of.
Good point. You spoke from your heart. Correct? Correct, no? You didn't speak from your mouth or intelligence. You spoke from your heart. It's true. Right? We feel void. मजा नहीं आता है. Always, every day, we feel only completely satisfied if we have served Krishna in some way. Correct? All of us go through that experience. Otherwise, simply we may do anything. It doesn't. We may get some promotion in office or some monetary reward. Okay, but still now, with every passing day, our thinking is: have I progressed in my Krishna consciousness? If it doesn't happen, a khalipan, it eats you, kind of. But the day is very. You can go back to sleep very nicely, peacefully. We sleep when we know that we have done our best in that day, in terms of our chanting, hearing, reading, and service. If these four are in order, and in terms of our behavior, Sadachara, if all this is in order, then we feel some completeness within ourselves. Okay. And that is true even if we have probably not made money or we may have lost some money. But even then, if this is in place, then that void is not there in our heart. But despite that, everything is there and this is not there, we will never feel satisfied. It's a very good point. We feel that void.
Prabhupada has given nice analogy of parts and the whole. If the parts are not connected, they are as good as useless, even though it is there.
Yeah.
So therefore, God's importance of reconnecting those.
Yes. Today I was teaching some children place value. Okay. Place value, you know what is place value? Mathematics. So if there is a 5-digit number, always the place value is what? Units, tens, hundreds, 1,000, 10,000, like that. So everywhere there are zeros. But if there is a 1 added to that, then it becomes a totally meaningful. But if you remove the 1, it doesn't matter how many are there. How many zeros are there? Everything is still a big zero, right? So Prabhupada, give this Prabhupada's example. Prabhupada says if you add a 1 ahead of the zeros, then that is Krishna consciousness. Then it is meaningful. To whatever zeros you already have in life, right? What are the zeros in our life? Job, family, they are all zeros. But they will all make sense if you add a 1 in front. Then it will have value. Otherwise it is useless. Useless waste of time. What is that verse? Which is that verse? Dharma swa nishtita pumsaha useless waste of time. Whatever we do, money, this, job, all useless until the fact that every day we have to ask ourselves, has my love for Krishna gone up today or not? If it has not gone up, we have wasted that day. 100% we have wasted that day. If our love for Krishna has gone, it does not go up. Okay, so the children have to be kept a little bit. Thoda silence, concentration. I know Preeti Mata is doing her best. Thank you. Pata hai, Mata. I know you are working hard. I know your position. You are doing a very good job so far. This is a good one. Don't let her go out. Ask her to come in. Otherwise she will go out. We want her to be part of this class. Come Prabhu, you have to multitask. अच्छा नहीं बीवी पे छोड़ देने का तुम. Take 50-50 responsibility. Okay. Yeah. So every day, what is our question to be asked? Hands up if you have increased your love for Godhead today. Of course, in humility, somebody will not raise hand. Okay. But genuinely also, some people will not raise hand. Many people will not raise hand. So if I don't raise my hand, don't think that it is my humility. Actually, anyway, nothing I have done today since morning that will increase my rati for the Lord. What to do, right? But then it's a wasted day, one more day. And with Ayur Harati Vai Pumsam, appudu chirchana Dhyan Ashtam Cha Yan Asav Das Yarte Yat Shanonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. What do you mean by that? With every rising and setting of the sun, we are one step closer to death. And we are wasting time in this world. Right? So every day is important to develop rati towards Bhagavan. Otherwise, we are wasting time. Okay. So this is the last opportunity, Prabhupada is saying. If we miss this opportunity, we are not going to get this opportunity again. You have a very despondent look on your face. You got scared, huh? In this statement. It's good if you get scared. If we don't get scared, we are shameless. It's good to get scared. That's a sign that we are taking it seriously. Okay. Let's go to mantra 1. What is mantra 1? Shavashyam idam sarvam yadikincha jagatyam jagat tena tyatena mambuta madhura chittana. Translation. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So let's read the purport. You are the most distracted today. Therefore, I am making you read.
Vedic knowledge is inchallengeable because it comes down to the perfect disciplic succession of spiritual masters, beginning with the Lord himself. Since he spoke the first word of Vedic knowledge, the source of this knowledge is transcendental. The words spoken by the Lord are called Founder-Acharya, which indicates that they are not delivered by any mundane person. A living being who lives in a mundane world has two mistakes. He is certain to commit mistakes, he is subject to illusions, he has propensity to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. No one with these four imperfections can deliver perfect knowledge. The Vedas are not produced by such an imperfect creator. Vedic knowledge was originally imparted by the Lord into the heart of Brahma, the first created living being, and Brahma in his turn disseminated this knowledge to his sons and disciples, who have handed it down through history. Since the Lord is Purna, all perfect, there is no possibility of his being subjected to the laws of material nature, which he controls. However, both the living entity and inanimate objects are controlled by the laws of nature and ultimately by the Lord's potency. This Isopanisad is part of the Yajur Veda and consequently it contains information concerning the proprietorship of all things existing within the universe. The Lord's proprietorship over everything within the universe is confirmed in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where Para and Apara Prakriti are discussed. The elements of nature, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and ego all belong to the Lord's inferior material energy, Apara Prakriti. Whereas the living being, the organic energy, is his superior energy, Para Prakriti. Both of these prakritis are energies, are emanations from the Lord, are ultimately from the Lord, and ultimately he is the controller of everything that exists. There is nothing in the universe that does not belong to either the Para or the Apara Prakriti. Therefore, everything is property of the Supreme Being.
Okay. Anything here?
The inferior and superior energies both are part of the Lord, and He's a controller of everything. There is nothing. There is nothing which is not under His control. Everything is what it is.
Is Jiva the superior energy or the part of the interior energy? But what is it? What is marginal also part? Superior energy. Jiva is superior energy, not interior. So the Lord is described here as Purna. Purna means complete and perfect. The Lord is also called as all perfect. So there is no possibility of He being controlled by material nature. Imperfection is a word only because of the existence of material nature. Okay? So the Lord is all perfect. Because only in this world of duality do we have good, bad. The characteristic of the material world is what? Duality. So in the absolute realm, everything is absolute. There is no duality there. So it is mentioned that the Lord is the all perfect and He is the controller. Where in Bhagavad Gita the Lord is saying that He is the controller and then He is not the controlled. Say the verse. Very good. Everything. What is the translation?
Everything.
I am the
source of everything and everything animates.
Everything.
Everything rests upon
Pearl, Sutre Manigana, you have gone to some other verse. Good attempt, but not that. Only again.
Everything, no? Everything animate.
Immediate answer. I know. With cell phone you will answer very fast. Huh?
Everything animate and inanimate is working on the mind attention. And by time it will be destroyed.
Okay. So the Lord clearly says that मेरे अध्यक्ष में ये दुनिया चलता है. माया अध्यक्षेन प्रकृति. Prakriti acts under my jurisdiction, my control. So clearly Lord Himself is telling that to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So the Lord is not controlled by the material energy. We also understand this from the Chatushloki of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? If you have that, what is that? iPhone, whatever. Yeah. So you go there and then check that Chatushloki of Bhagavatam 3.9.33. 3.9.33. Sorry, 2. Every time I make this mistake. 2.30. I think you're right. 2.9.33. 9.33. Just see that.
2.9.33.
While they are looking for it,
Huh?
I'm finding it difficult to relate the purport to the translation.
You are finding it
difficult to relate the purport.
As we go ahead, you will know what is the relationship to the translation. Hold on, right now. You found it or no? What is that? What is the first word? Aham evasam evagre. Nanyat yat asat param. Nanyat sat asat param. Evam toi nahi hari. Pashyat evam etaccha. Then yo ashishyesta so asmi aham. So what is that translation? Haribol, can you please be attentive? Okay, don't have cross discussions. Okay. Otherwise, I'll take Yogeshwar going through away from there and make him sit here. All three Chankumungus are discussing something for times over. Ramu Prabhu, what is the position? After some time, like Mahavishnu, I think you okay. So, okay, hang on. What is that translation? So, hear very attentively that translation.
Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead who was...
Dhire mate slow, because they need some time to come back to the fact that they are studying Isopanisad.
Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead who was existing before the creation.
It is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation. Okay.
When there was nothing but myself.
When there was nothing but
myself.
So what does that mean? All the material energy has come from the Lord. Okay, Maya Dhyaksana. Everything anyway is emanating from me. What is that verse which says everything emanates from me? Aham sarva prabha aham sarva sarva. Everything is coming from me.
Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation.
Yeah. Nor was there the
material
nature, which is the cause of this creation. It was not there. So who was always there? Even when Prakriti was not there, Bhagavan was there. And then?
That which you see now is also I.
That which you are seeing now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and
after annihilation,
बंद कर दो ना आवाज तो आ रहा है
and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of God.
After annihilation, what remains will also be
I.
Rashi Prabhu, you heard the translation. What did you understand?
He's saying to Brahma that
Vedvyas is saying what here?
That
Who is saying?
I know it is being said to Brahma that before creation, Krishna was the only one here.
Yes.
After the creation, he will be the only one. And what he is saying right now is also Krishna. Last line I missed.
So I got it. I know you missed last line. What is the last line?
That was the last thing he told me.
Annihilation, whatever happened after that.
That which you see now is also
That
I.
also he said he will tell you that he already told that.
And after annihilation, what remains will also be I.
That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead.
Okay. So you have to take this as a cross reference. That the Lord is always Purna. Okay. Then the third verse, okay, which is the verse number 35. What is the Pravishtani? Pravishtani क्या है वो? यथा महन्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेषु अणु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेषु अणु. So read the English translation of that and hear carefully.
O Brahma, please know that the universe...
So we are studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chatushlok. Okay? We are discussing how the Lord is the proprietor and how the material world is under his influence. Okay, so how the Lord is, everything has emanated from the Lord, and how the Lord is the controller of his energy and not vice versa. So we saw one praman of that from Srimad Bhagavatam. The next one we are seeing in verse 33. What is the English translation? 35.
O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and at the same time I am outside of everything.
So the Lord is within everything as well as outside everything. What is that? Ito Narasimha Yato Yato Yami. Everywhere He is there. Okay. Bahir Narasimha, Hridaya Narasimha. So the Lord is everywhere. Okay. So the Lord is definitely not subjugated by His material energy. He is under complete control. He can be subjugated if He is only within the realms of the material energy. But He is outside the realms of the material energy also. And He is saying, I have created this. Even if the material energy is gone, I still exist. Okay. So the Lord has got the higher, in one sense, the Lord He has the higher permanence. This material world is fleeting, transient. It's temporal, right? But the Lord is eternal. So if you read study the Chaturshloki, that section Prabhupada's purports, then that will be a good supplementary reading for this verse. In fact, the whole of second canto and even to some extent lot of third canto will be very good supplementary reading for Isopanisad. But you should not say, Bharane ka murgi, what is it? Itna chota sa book ke liye itna mota reference diya. Don't give me that logic. Your mind is telling like that. When we come to Srimad Bhagavatam, then it expands what this Isopanisad is talking about in those sections. Okay. So where did we read up to? Yeah, so Prabhupada says that the Vedas are called as apaurushaya, which means they have not. This is a very important even from your exam point of view. From your exam point of view, this is very important. That the words of the Lord are apaurushaya. No ordinary human being has spoken. Because what is the characteristic of an ordinary human being? Right, but why? Because all of us, okay, who are not Uttama Purusha, we are under the control of the three modes of material nature. Okay? The only time when we are not under the control of the three modes of material nature is when we are doing pure devotional service. Pure devotional service. Okay. Because devotional service can also be done in the mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Right? Few years back, I was also thinking, mode of passion mein kaisa hota devotional service. Then I remember one person was that he is not in Melbourne anymore. But he was getting so upset with the brahmacharis for not bringing that sand from the beach for the yagya. Not Gangeshwar, somebody else before that. He was completely yelling at the brahmacharis and everyone feeling frustrated. It was actually, he did not plan it, but he was venting out his frustration on everyone else around him. But he was doing yagya. So this is called as devotional service in the mode of passion and ignorance. Like that. You are doing devotional service only, but you are, आपका एक यज्ञ में 500 devotee लोग कुर्बान हो गए उधर. Right? So then after that, your yajna is being consummated with all that. So many Ghayal shares are there. Wounded tigers, devotees. And then that devotee is also waiting. I'll give it back to him someday. This is called as what? This is not pure bhakti. This is not devotional service. It is still devotional service. It is not the pure devotional service. It is still devotional service.
So, when Lord Krishna says that I, how do we understand the I? Because there are emanations that come out of him which are also complete. Now, when he says I, is this he's being as himself his original constitution, position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Is he present in that form? Or when he says I, for example, we know that he is within us as Paramatma, he is within everything that's inanimate also as Paramatma. So he is there, but is he completely there? How do we understand that? I am there inside of everything, I am outside of everything. So does he mean that my expansions are also me? I am somehow present in everything? Or does it mean he say I am
present in everything? Either he appears as Swayam Bhagavan in some cases, or it's plenary portion or parts of the plenary portion. Sometimes he also comes as Swamsha, Vibhinna Amsha. Okay. Sometimes he also comes as Shakti Aveshavatar. For example, he can vest some of his potencies in a jiva. And such a jiva is called as what? Shakti Aveshavatar. Okay, so the Lord is there in that avatar. Like Narad Muni. Narad Muni is a Shakti Aveshavatar.
Okay, the way to understand I is the Lord and his potencies.
Correct. Okay. Prabhupada, in fact, somewhere, it was one devotee had made a painting of Lord Krishna, sitting like that. And then Prabhupada came and said, what is this? He said, what kind of painting is this? Prabhupada is, Lord Krishna is sitting like that. So he said, Krishna has a headache. The person said, this is not bona fide. No? Krishna can never be alone. Krishna means Krishna along with his Krishna is never alone. He is always with his multifarious energy. So Prabhupada said, correct that. It's not correct. Krishna is never alone. Suffering a headache, thinking of koi aayega kya, not like that. Okay, where did we read up to? We read the whole purport, isn't it?
No. Because
the Supreme Being is an
yeah.
Where is that? Because the Supreme Being, the Absolute Person. We should read from there?
Yes.
Okay, start reading. Okay, Prabhuji. Harsha Prabhu ne?
Hanuman.
Hanuman Prabhu.
Because the Supreme Being, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, is the complete person, he has complete and perfect intelligence to adjust everything by means of his different potencies. The Supreme Being is often compared to a fire, and everything organic and inorganic is compared to the heat and light of that fire. Just as fire distributes energy in the form of heat and light, the Lord displays his energy in different ways. He thus remains the ultimate controller, sustainer, and dictator of everything. He is the possessor of all potencies and knower of everything, and the benefactor of everyone. He is full of inconceivable opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation.
Okay. So such a person only is called as Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Jnana Vairagya Straiva. So Bhagavan means what? Any person cannot be called Bhagavan unless he possesses all these opulences in full. Okay. Therefore what? Okay, go ahead.
One should therefore be intelligent
Now
enough.
your question comes.
One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that except for the Lord, no one is a proprietor of anything. One should accept only those things that are set aside by the Lord as his quota. The cow, for instance, gives milk but does not drink that milk. She eats grass and straw, and her milk is designated as food for human beings. Such is the arrangement of the Lord. Thus, we should be satisfied with those things he has kindly set aside for us, and we should always consider to whom those things we possess actually belong.
Okay, so therefore here the answer comes, the connection comes to the quota. So what is, so in our Bhakti Vriksha program, how do we explain this? That module has been designed based on this only. Which one? Which part am I talking about? In
Science
SSR.
of self-realization.
We talk 4 aspects of God. What are the 4 aspects? All of you forgot. Who is God may we talk now? What is God? What do we say? The Lord is the cause of all causes. He is the supreme controller. He is the supreme proprietor. He is the supreme enjoyer. And we quote what?
Supreme proprietor.
Yeah. Cause of all causes is given as Ishvara Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sarva Karana. He is the supreme controller. Maya Dhyakshena Prakrite Swete Sacharachara. Okay. Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagati Parivartate. He is the supreme proprietor. Ishavashyam. This verse. And then he is the supreme enjoyer. I am the supreme beneficiary of all sacrifices. I am the ultimate enjoyer of it. I am the Bhuktaram, he says. Okay? So we explain in that sequence. So here the Lord is saying that because I am the cause of all causes, therefore everything owns is me. If I create something, who is the owner of that? Who is the owner of that? I created that. Like that. So the relationship between cause of all causes, because Lord is established as all the causes, automatically he becomes the proprietor or owner of everything. So we have not created anything animate, nor have we created anything inanimate. We may have something, we may say that, I have created animate, my child was born to me. But then obviously, we know that, many times even when the parents have union, the child is not born. So what causes the child to born? To come there. Right? Can I say I created my child? You can't. Right? We have no control over the process. We have even no control over the process. Even if we have had physical union, we have no control that there will be a normal child that will come out. Right? That is also control is not there. We only start praying after some time. Right? And we think we are the controllers. I have made my son. I have made my daughter. Aaj jo bhi hai wo mere wajah se. We start talking about these things. But our child can't even breathe for 5 minutes if the Lord doesn't provide. Father cannot provide oxygen to the child. Mother can only feed the child, but mother cannot ensure that the child will go through the whatever that what is that elementary canal or whatever into the. I'm not a medical student. I'm poor in biology. Please correct me. To the intestine, esophagus, whatever it goes down. Esophagus, elementary canal. छोड़ दूँ क्या? We not speculate in areas where kitchen and anatomy I should not touch. So whatever, we have no control over the digestive system, nothing. Neither we have control over the excretory system. Washer बंद हो गया तो भागना पड़ता है डॉक्टर के पास, right? So one should therefore be intelligent enough to know that except for the Lord, no one is a proprietor of anything. Have you read that paragraph or no?
Yes. Yeah. You put it next.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and read. Yeah, go ahead.
Take for example our dwelling, which is made of earth, wood, stone, iron, cement and so many other material things. If we think in terms of Sri Isopanisad, we must know that we cannot produce any of these building materials ourselves. We can simply bring them together and transform them into different shapes by our labor. A laborer cannot claim to be a proprietor of a thing, but just because he has worked hard to manufacture it.
Okay. We are human beings are engaged only in converting material energy which is already provided from one form into another form, and we call that as manufacturing. Okay. Human beings are engaged in only transporting things from one hopefully in the same form to the next destination. That is called as logistics and transportation. But we have not created anything. We are only transforming the material. That's all. So Prabhupada is reminding that. So even when we are preaching to the new people, we have to make them think like this. We don't think like this. Where today is a bad day, I think. So let's read the next paragraph. So Raji.
In modern society, there is always a great quarrel between the laborers and the capitalists. This quarrel has taken an international shape and the world is in danger. Men face one another in enmity and snarl just like cats and dogs. Sri Isopanisad cannot give advice to the cats and dogs, but it can deliver the message of Godhead to man through the bona fide acharyas, holy teachers. The human race should take the Vedic wisdom of Sri Isopanisad and not quarrel over material possessions. One must be satisfied with whatever privileges are given to him by the mercy of the Lord. There can be no peace if the communist or the capitalist or any other party claims proprietorship over the resources of nature, which are entirely the property of the Lord. The capitalist cannot curb the communists simply by political maneuvering, nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply by fighting for stolen bread. If they do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the property they claim to be their own is stolen. Consequently, they will be liable to punishment by the laws of nature. Nuclear bombs are in the hands of both communists and capitalists, and if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord, it is certain that these bombs will ultimately ruin both parties. Thus, in order to save themselves and bring peace to the world, both parties must follow the instructions of Sri Isopanisad.
Okay, so what is Prabhupada talking about here?
Two ways of thinking, like generally what happens, capitalism and communism. So in capitalism, it's more like, everybody is allowed to exploit as much resources as you can. In communism, the resources are rationed. But again, end of the day, in either places, the credit is not given that we have not created the resources. So the fight goes on.
So capitalism says survival of the fittest. Jo jeeta wahi Sikandar. So that is the principle of capitalism. Okay. Whoever can grab is the winner. That's it. Okay. This is how America is operating. Okay. If I have the might, then that's all. Then it's mine. If you have the might, it's yours. It's like that. So ownership is based upon whose might works at a particular point in time. In communism, that's another distorted philosophy. What does it say? Everything belongs to everyone equally. But here, what is the ultimate truth? Nothing belongs to anyone except the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and only we must take our quota as ordained by the Lord. Okay. How does the Lord decide our quota? Based on karma. Karmana daiva netrena jantur deha. Our birth itself is nothing but our
Even based on bhakti as well. Sometimes bhakti as well, he may sometimes bestow resources to someone who may use it in his service, like what he did to Srila Prabhupada.
Correct. Either karma or it can come through bhakti. So if the Lord wants to give, he can give Saddam anything. For example, Sudama had nothing. But what happened? In order to break Sudama's ego, the Lord gave him a lot of wealth. Because Sudama was very proud of his simplicity. And the Lord wanted to break that pride, so he gave wealth. Similarly, if somebody is very proud of their possessions, the Lord can take away those possessions also to make them. So he can act both ways. Like that. Okay, he can give or take, because he is the ultimate proprietor of everything. In fact, Prabhupada also elsewhere says that even our own houses, after we pay mortgage, need not be ours. And what is the ultimate thing that we think we possess? Our body. That is also not ours. We can get kicked out of that without our will. Your body? What your body? Come, time to come out. That's all. Finish. In fact, that day I was explaining, one of my colleagues was asking some question. This body is mine. So that I was this lady, I was telling her this, Bhagavad Gita. She was very interested in spiritual life. She's asking a lot of questions. So I was explaining her like this. Then she came to the conclusion that you are not the body, but the body is yours. Then I gave her another logic. I said, how many living entities are living in your body? She said, I don't know. Bacteria. How many bacteria are there? Sometimes we say that viral infection, bacterial infection, this infection, that infection. So, and how many is your count? It says 1. So that way, whose body it is? Who is the larger shareholder within the body? So in that case, this body is also not ours. And even that one viral, whatever, I don't know about, virus is a living entity now. So even that one virus can kick us out of our body. It can't even see it, but it can kick us out of our body. So actually nothing we own in this world. If you tell people, they'll get bewildered. Hey, kya aisa baat karta hai? But actually it's the real fact. We don't know what it is. What is that? Huh?
ये क्या ऐसा बात कर?
So nothing is owned by us. One more. Today I was watching this Himalayan adventure series. Okay. I was trying to show Aditya. So this is this westerner who is going through. I wanted to see how Himalaya. He also wants to see how Himalayas is. So Himalayas has that. What is that? What is that place?
First base, second base.
First base, second base. India, Pakistan ka wo jo border ka ek Tikrit, I think that place is called as something like that. It's called as Tikrit. Not Tikrit. Tikrit is somewhere else. Oh, Saddam Hussein ka baat kar raha hai. This is some other place. So
Siachen.
Siachen. Near Siachen only. Near Siachen only. There is one place. I forgot that. So this person is riding, and it's all live camera. How he's riding, and what are the roads? Such dangerous roads. He is how many thousands of feet above sea level. Okay, it's considered as the world's most dangerous roads in the world. And this person is driving. He is an American who is going through this narrow. You look down and you will find, you will fall down. Means that your bones will also not be found. There will be no trace of your existence only if you fall down from there. And only one. And then what happens in that road? The opposite truck is coming. Sandhu transport. And this fellow is going in this corner, and he says, "Thankfully, I am not on the other side." So he is going uphill, so he is on the left hand side, So otherwise he says, I am finished, And then there are small, I don't want to describe that. But, and then what happens, as he finishes that journey, and then he says, yes, I have victoriously come to the place, the highest road in the world. And there, he sees that one buswala, he is taking a lot of pilgrims there. Pilgrims, people who are living there. He says, I am daily doing this route. So he is telling, kya baat kar rahe ho? And that is, iska to phir bhi car hai. That fellow is carrying a big bus in that road. And he says, for 30-35 years I have done this route. And you are saying that, big flag he is putting there. I achieved something. So he says, how do you, manage this? You don't fear. So you know what that fellow said? He said, in this part of the world, in the Himalayas, they say, we don't have any fear because we believe that it is not these roads that will kill us. It is our karma which will decide when we die. I thought it was very powerful. They are not devotees, they may not be, But see the faith, and people are all chanting in the bus. They all beat bikes. Every day people are chanting. They say Lord will protect us. If He wants to, He will take away whenever He will. 30 years He is driving on that road, and this fellow one time he is putting flag there. And National Geographic big video is there. Like that. उसका नाम भी दिया, some Satnam Singh something. He is driving daily. बस में. And he has no fear of that. He says, you are not worried, it's dangerous. He said, dangerous. He said, at least they were on a clear day. He said, there are days when there are avalanches which are coming, And then he has 35 years he has been driving in that. When there is snow, you get stuck up. You don't know where to go. Left, right, you can't do anything. But still people are living there. And they believe it's the Lord who is deciding. Whenever He wants, He will provide food. If He doesn't want, it's all up to Him. And they know He will protect. So such faith. I was feeling ashamed when I saw that. After all this in Melbourne also we are complaining. Okay. So it is wrong to think that simply by becoming... Where did we read? Sorry, I thought I
Human beings.
Human beings are not... Continue.
Human beings are not meant to quarrel like cats and dogs. They must be intelligent enough to realize the importance and aim of human life. The Vedic literature is meant for humanity and not for cats and dogs. Cats and dogs can kill other animals for food without incurring sin. But if a man kills an animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste buds, he is responsible for breaking the laws of nature. Consequently, he must be punished. The standard of life for human beings cannot be applied to animals. The tiger does not eat rice and wheat or drink cow's milk because he has been given food in the shape of animal flesh. Among the many animals and birds, some are vegetarian and the other are carnivorous. But none of them transgress the laws of nature, which have been ordained by the will of the Lord. Animals, birds, reptiles and other lower life forms strictly adhere to the laws of nature. Therefore, there is no question of sin for them, nor are there Vedic instructions meant for them. Human life alone is a life of responsibility. It is wrong, however, to think that simply...
So what Prabhupada is saying that animal life is the only life where you don't beget any sin. You are just exhausting your karma in animal life. So only in human life you have a choice which comes by the power of discrimination. Okay? Animals don't have that power. Okay? So whatever animals do, they are just following the natural habitat. It is only human beings. Even in fact, when we were in Gold Coast, I remember on the last day, there is this, the train ride is there. What is that called? What's the word? Monorail. When we were about to go on the monorail, we went into some museum. There it was written, there was a big board there. It was written the most dangerous species in life. They were showing some species, They said the most dangerous species in life is which species? Human being. Actually, they were written there. Like that. So it's only human beings who transgress the law of nature. Law of nature. Quota. Otherwise, all other animals are very... they do whatever natural comes to them. It's only we who want to experiment outside the natural. Pardon?
Lord it over mentality.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Lord it over mentality. Right. Okay. So read further. Therefore we get karma because of that. Because we try to go outside our quota.
The standard of life for human beings cannot be applied to
It is wrong.
It is wrong, however, to think that simply by becoming a vegetarian one can avoid transgressing the laws of nature. Vegetables also have life, and while it is nature's law that one living being is meant to feed one another, for human beings the point is to recognize the Supreme Lord. Thus one should not be proud of being a strict vegetarian. Animals do not have a developed consciousness by which to recognize the Lord, but a human being is sufficiently intelligent to take lessons from the Vedic literature and thereby know how the laws of nature are working and derive profit out of such knowledge.
Okay. So much of our initial preaching material is derived from these paragraphs. Okay. So in the initial days of Bhakti Vriksha, when you talk about meat eating, that South Indian family, typical mama and mommy will come to your program. I'm pure veg. They will say. I said, बहुत बड़ा काम किया. So Prabhupada is saying even monkeys are vegetarian. Of course, you don't tell them. Mama will feel offended. अरे मारता है. Not come for your program. So don't hurt mama and mommy. Okay? Don't be abrupt in your answers. So say, it's very nice, you are vegetarian, that's very good. Of course, plants also have life. So what, uncle, what do you think about it? Uncle will then start thinking. Then you tell Isopanisad. Okay, so like that. So many times we are proud just because we are vegetarian. Vegetarian just means Prabhupada said that you are on the human platform. But in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned that yat karosi yat juhosi. Even if you eat that vegetarian, you do not offer it to the Lord. We verily eat sin. Because at every point in time, what is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, the most important instruction of Bhagavad Gita? Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Always, whatever you are doing, remember me. So even for us, now it's become a habit, right? Even if you take a chewing gum, for example, and then you say, first, will be chewing gum, you know, you have with, I don't know whether Krishna is chewing gum. But one Gaurang Prabhu, somebody asked, Krishna has non-veg or what? He said, Krishna has everything. What do you think he is gobbling up? You know, in the Virat room. He can eat anything. The entire universe is in his belly. Veg, non-veg. But anyway, but for us, even we can't eat anything. Even if there is a fruit, think of the last time that you just picked up a fruit and started eating. You can't. You think, where does it come from? Where does it come from? Were we like that before? 100% no. Even while cooking, I remember, while cooking itself. This is how cooking was going on, like that, no? Take a taste karke, we don't do that now. We can't. In fact, people are bewildered. Mataji, फिर नमक कैसा है? कैसा मालूम पड़ता है आपको? This is the first question. New members are coming to the program. कैसा आप लोग taste ही नहीं करते हो? And you feed people, you call people to your house, and you have not even tasted. Like that. So somehow, the Lord gives that ability to offer, and He also gives the consciousness by which we can't eat something which is not offered. If a man, go ahead.
If a man neglects the instructions of the Vedic literature, his life becomes very risky. A human being is therefore required to recognize the authority of the Supreme Lord and become his devotee. He must offer everything for the Lord's service and partake only of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. This will enable him to discharge his duty properly. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord directly states that He accepts vegetarian food from the hands of a pure devotee. Therefore, a human being should not only become a strict...
Hang on. Therefore, the Lord here is saying He accepts what? Vegetarian food only from the hands of a pure devotee. So what about us? Is He accepting or is not accepting? Accepting. Why? We are pure devotee or what?
As long as we can give it.
What is your view? You.
Into the prayers of through the spiritual masters, He accepts.
That is why we must have Prabhupada on the altar. Even if we don't have Radha Krishna on the altar, that's okay. Even if you have simple Prabhupada on the altar, that's good enough. Otherwise, we will never eat prasada if Prabhupada is not on the altar. Thank you. Yeah, so what was I saying?
Prabhupada.
Yeah, so Prabhupada must be on the altar. Okay. Whether Radha Krishna is not there or there, Prabhupada must be on the altar. Because we are offering through the disciplined succession. So if we are initiated or sheltered, then we offer through the spiritual master, through his pranam mantra. Okay. Otherwise we offer through Prabhupada. So it is very important to accept a sampradaya. If we till the time we accept a sampradaya, we will not even have
spiritual master.
Prabhupada on the altar. Spiritual master to baad mein aata hai. Accepting the sampradaya first is who? Prabhupada will come. Prabhupada's coming is acceptance of sampradaya. Then spiritual master coming is acceptance of spiritual master. That is shelter. So Prabhupada should be on the altar. So all of us must have Prabhupada on the altar. So when you talk to your members, also cultivate your members. Then I know that all of you know all this. When you cultivate, it will only become prasadam when Prabhupada is on the altar. I'm not when in our sampradaya. In Sri Sampradaya, Ramanuja or somebody, whoever is there, or the living, whoever is the disciplic succession, the recent guru, through that person, then it has to go up, offerings. But saying through the devotee, only pure devotee of the Lord, we offer everything to Krishna. So that is the main point we have to remember. Okay? Okay. Read further.
Okay. Therefore, a human being should not only become a strict vegetarian, but should also become a devotee of the Lord, offer the Lord all his food, and then partake of such prasadam or the mercy of God. Only those who act in this way can properly discharge the duties of human life. Those who do not offer their food to the Lord eat nothing but sin and subject themselves to various types of distress, which are the results of sin. Continue. The root of sin is deliberate disobedience of the laws of nature through disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord. Disobeying the laws of nature or order of the Lord brings ruin to a human being. Conversely, one who is sober, who knows the laws of nature, and who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion is sure to be recognized by the Lord and thus become eligible to go back to Godhead, back to the eternal home.
So, the essence, what Prabhupada is saying, one must understand always that Krishna is the supreme proprietor and accept only one's quota. So if we go beyond our quota, then that is where the domain of sin is now inviting us, going outside our quota to enjoy, disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord. Disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord means what? Not accepting that Lord wants to give me only this much and trying to dishonest means to acquire more than what your karma has ordained for you. Okay? Trying to go beyond that. The question is, does the Lord decide on autopilot or does he decide on manual pilot? Okay? The Lord puts the non-devotees in autopilot, so they are under the influence of their own karma. Whereas for the devotee, the Lord personally intervenes sometimes, and even if the karma, by karma you are supposed to get something, let's say you are supposed to get a promotion and $1 million, because of Lord Krishna's intervention, we may not get that. Okay? Because why? Because he wants us to get detached from matter. He wants us to get more attached to his feet. Okay? So if the Lord wants to give something, he will give. But the moment we get detached from everything, he may start giving us to test whether we are very proud of our detachment. So a devotee is always constantly, whatever he gets or doesn't get is ordained, decided by the Lord. Of course, we cannot say in my life everything is, because then we are putting ourselves as if we are very great devotees and we have no karmic bank account. But it's a fact that when we take initiation, then our karmas are, so if after initiation we practice serious spiritual life, then yes, we can be reasonably certain that now whatever is happening is by the personal desire of Krishna in our life. Srila Prabhupada ki